Ladies and gentlemen, week 16 of the NFL is underway. We got Saturday games today, multiple division games Sunday afternoon. Playoff positioning is on the line. Watching the B&E podcast presented by Premium. He's Ed. I'm Brandon. What's going on, Ed?
Another day, man. Divisional matchups, like you said, we both got division opponents this week. I'm a little more concerned about mines. Think you guys will be okay, but we'll get into it. Let's get this opening drive started, shall we? Michael Penix Jr. is a new starting quarterback for the Falcons as Kirk Cousins has been benched. Actually, the Falcons are expected to cut Kirk Cousins for his $10 million roster bonus due, according to Adam Schefter. So developing news story there. Jalen Hurts been fined for wearing mismatched cleats during the win over the Steelers. Jordan Brand will pay the fine, saying, quote, "We're paying the fine. You can't ban greatness." The Giants will rely on Drew Lock as their quarterback Sunday against the Falcons. Buda Baker got paid, ladies and gentlemen. The Cardinals safety received a 3-year, $54 million extension earlier this week. Deontay Johnson is no longer a member of the Ravens after their team waived the wide receiver on Friday. And Tyreek Hill is questionable to play against the 49ers, while Jalen Waddle is doubtful. Before we get going into this game, especially the one last night or Thursday, definitely surprised about the Falcons looking to move on from Kirk Cousins. Guess that you consider that a bonehead move on their part for signing him, giving him that guaranteed money. Kind of similar to what the Broncos tried to do with Russell Wilson. Things didn't work out. Kirk Cousins last second half of the season just fell off of a cliff. 1-4, a lot of interceptions, just miserable offense. Kyle Pitts, uh, people calling him a bust. They've been calling him a bust for a couple of years, but he definitely didn't look good when Kirk Cousins was playing. So yeah, I'm definitely shocked by that news. Also, the Deontay Johnson news too. I expected him to do big things for you guys, help out in the passing game, but it just didn't work out. So I was definitely shocked by that. What about you?
Yeah, I think Kirk Cousins, the crazy thing is obviously the guaranteed money that they gave him, but even more, they said that, his offense has basically been the same his entire career. Like you said, it just hadn't worked out. The last 5 games, I think he's had 9 interceptions to 1 touchdown. Just got that touchdown the other night or the other game they played in. Um, so yeah, tough break for him. He'll end up somewhere. I honestly see Tennessee being a suitor for him. They like those veteran quarterbacks. They got Tannehill when he wasn't playing good in Miami, and he probably was playing worse than that at that his at, at that point of his career. So I think they might be suitors if they don't get a top draft pick, depending on the quarterback class as well. So yeah, I honestly think his commute won't be much further. I honestly see him going there to the Volunteer State playing for the Titans. As far as Deontay Johnson goes, 5 targets, I think 1 reception overall. Um, wasn't going into the game for whatever reason. Like I said, with the 49ers linebacker, don't know the exact reason why he didn't go in. Um, but if it's what we're hearing, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like I said about the 49ers linebacker, he doesn't deserve to play anymore, honestly. I didn't think we'd cut him until the end of the season because apparently we would have got a compensatory pick for him.
Hmm.
So this might be a low key move to bring in OBJ. He's still out there. Don't know what they're going to do. I think we're honestly good at the wide receiver position between Bateman and Zay Flowers, and then we still got Wallace making plays here and there. The rookie Walker, I think his name is, he made a big touchdown catch last week, so we'll see how it goes. I think we have bigger concerns in wide receiver at this point in the season, but obviously we only got 3 more games plus the playoffs potentially to go. So we'll see which direction they go. It'll say a lot if it does end up coming down where they end up signing OBJ. We don't have to worry about the waivers at this point because he cleared waivers Monday afternoon.
Don't forget about your boy Nelson Aguilar too. You still got him.
So yeah, he's out Sunday though.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He's I wanted him gone after last season, but he's actually been solid for us. I can't lie. I just
Yeah,
don't have a good vibe about him. He makes plays, but he just like to me, he's like I don't know, almost
got
like Stephen A. Smith accident waiting to happen. I don't know. I just think back to them Philly days.
All right, let's get to this Thursday night game that happened. Chargers beat the Broncos 34-27. Started this game, Broncos came out on fire, running the ball. I think that first drive they had like 10 plays, very long drive, over 6 minutes. 7 of those plays were rushing plays, if I'm not mistaken. They scored a touchdown. I think they scored on their first 3 possessions, and I was thinking maybe the Broncos would do their thing and win this one. But second half came, Chargers defense tightened up. Broncos only managed to score 6 points in the second half, and the Chargers managed to win this game. Justin Herbert, 2 touchdown passes. Um, Gus Edwards had a nice touchdown run. I think he had 2 on the day as well. But I remember the first one he had, he got stopped probably like around the 1 or 2 yard, but he kept fighting, turning his feet, and fell into the end zone. Nice play for him. And then there was the whole fair catch, free kick, field goal at the end of the half. I think that's the first time that happened, they said, since like 1976. I was very confused on that when that happened. Like, what the hell is going on here? But Dicker, the kicker, did his thing, put himself in the history books. And that definitely, I don't want to, I think it was a little bit of momentum swing going to the half. They definitely needed those points. So I think the score would have been 21-10 if they didn't get that field goal, but it ended up being 21-13. Even though the Broncos came out in the second half, they scored a field goal. So I thought, maybe, they'll keep fighting. But like I said, that Chargers defense did tighten up. They weren't able to run the ball. The Broncos, weren't able to run the ball as effectively as they were in the first half. And Chargers got things done. Lad McConkey, definitely Justin Herbert's favorite target. He had himself a nice
Yeah.
game. Joshua Palmer, he did as well. I think he had a toe drag swag type of 2 point conversion in the fourth quarter. And yeah, man, Justin Herbert and the Chargers live to fight another day. Looks like the Chargers and Denver are actually going to make it into the playoffs. The Denver got that last wild card spot, and Chargers are right in front of them. So I think they'll both get into the playoffs because I think the next closest is Indianapolis, but they're 6-8, so I doubt they'll have a chance to
Yeah.
make it. But what were your thoughts on this game, man?
Yeah, I picked the Chargers. I wasn't too confident in this one with the way Denver's defense had been playing, but it worked out in my favor. I thought that Los Angeles State needed to run the ball a little bit more. I think it was like 30 some yards they had in the previous game. They definitely delivered in this one. But to me, the turning point was the fourth quarter. Herbert, he had pressure in his face. He was rolling out to the left. You could argue that he was trying to throw the ball away, but I honestly think it was a good throw. Ended up in the hands of Darius Davis for the touchdown. Then they went for 2. Josh Palmer, the linebacker, tipped it. Palmer also tipped it himself to himself. He had the toe drag swag, 2 point conversion there. Um, and then it pretty much was all Chargers at that point. His accuracy, Justin Herbert on play action passes. They was talking about it during the broadcast. I did see a little bit of this one. Um, Almost a perfect passer rating there in the middle of the third quarter at that point when it came to play action plays. That's just what you want from your franchise quarterback. So yeah, LA, they needed this one to keep the pace over Denver. They now got a 2-game lead over the Broncos because of their head-to-head matchups. Like you said, Indianapolis is the next closest, so both of these teams should make the playoffs. It's just the fact that the Broncos will likely be locked in at the final seed because of the sweep there by the Chargers against them in this series. So yeah, good game Thursday night for sure. All right, everyone. The Commanders, they'll aim to win their 6th home game of 2024 and stop a 10-game Eagles win streak when they host Philadelphia on Sunday. Ed, I want to hear your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, man, Eagles coming into Northwest Stadium, a 3.5 point favorite, so that's already not a good sign. Usually we get the home team usually gets like at least a point home field advantage, but nope. I don't think we're going to win this game, to be honest. I know we got Marshawn Lattimore now. Maybe he can help out a little bit on A.J. Brown and even Devontae Smith. But when he's covering one of those guys, who's covering the other one? Benjamin St. Juice, last game, he only played up like 3 snaps, I think. And one of those snaps, he had a penalty. So at this point, man, I just don't know. My faith in him is gone. He was decent the last couple of seasons, but this season just has not been good for him. So hopefully next year, whoever team he plays on, I doubt it'll be with the Commanders, he can improve. But back to this game though, yeah, I just don't see us winning this game, man. I do hope we get Terry McLaurin involved early and often. Last time we played the Eagles on that Thursday night, he didn't get a catch until about the third quarter, and everybody was talking about Quinion Mitchell. Oh my God, he shut him down and blah blah blah. Please give me a goddamn break. Terry McLaurin, please get the ball. I don't want to say he's a fraud, Quinion Mitchell, but come on, man, give me a break. Terry McLaurin, let's get him involved. Brian Robinson, B Rob. Hopefully, he can rush for at least 75 yards. Keep that Eagles defense on the field. Keep that Eagles offense on the field. I think only way we got a chance to win this game is time of possession, just long drives, scoring plays. If we don't get it a touchdown, just kick the field goal. Keep it simple. Get points on the board. And then when our defense is on the field, contain Saquon Barkley. I'm not too concerned with the passing game. Don't get me wrong, though. I'm not sleeping on Jalen Hurts and the guys, but I'm more worried about the rushing game. Last time we played them, we kept them in check for the most part. And then Saquon Barkley got loose. I'm even concerned with Jalen Hurts and his running ability. I think I'm waiting to see about some of the injuries. Jeremy Chin, our safety, he's dealing with concussion protocol. So he's one of those guys who will go in there and get dirty, try to thump somebody. We don't have too many of those guys in the secondary. Yeah. So missing him would be a really big impact on the defense. And then Zach Ertz, he's dealing with a shoulder injury and he's in concussion protocol as well. So hopefully we can have him involved in the game, involved in the pass attack, involved with blocking. But if we don't have those guys, it even just makes our chances even worse. And hopefully, man, like I said last week, I didn't understand why Chris Rodriguez didn't play that much. He had one carry. I don't know how many snaps he had, but he played great against Tennessee. Let's utilize him. I don't know, maybe he doesn't have a good practice or something, but I think we need to throw him a bone, man. Give him a chance out there, see what we can do with against the Eagles. But overall, I think the Eagles are just a better talented team. I was concerned about the number of sacks we gave up against the Saints. We gave up 8 sacks against the Saints. I could definitely see the Eagles defense, especially that defensive line, interrupting a lot of what we're going to try to do in the offense and make it a long and frustrating day for Jaden, because they did pretty much contain him in the first game. So I can definitely see that Eagles defensive line, Jalen Carter and those boys just mucking it up. Nakobe Dean, the linebacker core, is doing some very nasty things to my quarterback. Hopefully that's not the case, but I do think the Eagles will win this one and sweep the series against us. What are your thoughts?
So yeah, just over a month ago when y'all two played, I remember your cousin was on the show after it, and he said how Philadelphia just finds ways to close out, and he said that's how they're ready to make a run for a championship, and y'all are not. Difference in that game to me was y'all's inability to stop the run. They had 228 on the ground. I always talk about it all the time. When Philly gets over that 200-yard mark on the ground, they're damn near unbeatable. Saquon had 146. They had 3 touchdowns on the ground in the fourth quarter. So yeah, I think to eliminate that, y'all got to get the Commanders, got to get Scary Terry the ball early and often. He wasn't involved in the previous matchup. The leading receiver was actually Austin Eckler, and he's out for this one. I don't think he has a shot of coming back until week 18, if I'm correct with that. Establish the run as well. You talk about Rodriguez against Tennessee. He was, doing his thing against them, and then last week he wasn't really used. Control the clock. You talk about that as well. It's something we've seen y'all do better there at home, so hopefully it works out in y'all's favor in those terms as well. But your defense as well, maybe a big play or two, a forced fumble, interception, set up the offense with good field position. Not that your offense can't go, from backed up into the, long drive in the end zone. We've seen that happen before, but the easiest you can help your offense in a game like this against a good team on offense and defense like Philadelphia, the more, obviously the more it helps y'all. I think y'all got a shot in this one, but I'm going to give the edge to Philadelphia. I see it being a close one when it's all said and done.
Yeah, and even though it's a home game, that Eagles crowd, there's a lot of Philly fans in the DMV area, so it's probably going to be like a 50-50 type crowd there with Eagles, Commanders. If there's a fight that happens, hopefully the damn Commander fans win, whoop some ass, stop getting their ass whooped like they did against, I think it was y'all, right? Against the Ravens?
Yeah, against us. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I see. Eagles fans do travel. Yeah. All right, everyone. This episode is brought to you by Premium, a CBD wellness company. Check out their full line of CBD-infused products, which make great stocking stuffers for the upcoming holiday season. Perfect for athletes, weekend warriors, soccer moms, and even armchair quarterbacks. They have CBD infused honey, which is a personal favorite, as well as tinctures in mint and regular flavor. Most importantly, they are veteran and women owned, so come get some of this sweet temptation and taste the premium difference. Use code B&E for 15% off your order. Their website is www.premium.com. That's PREHEMIUM.com. Again, PREHEMIUM.com. Now back to our show. One thing I love about the latter part of the season is NFL football on Saturdays. It starts today. Texans and Chiefs, 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Kickoff there from Kansas City. Um, I may sound like a broken record, but until somebody beats them again, I'm going to stick with the Chiefs, man. I know last Sunday was only the second time they won by more than one score, but that was against Mr. Interception himself, Jameis Winston. He really helped Kansas City get 3 touchdowns on the board. The final score was 21-7, if I remember correctly. I think Houston, they'll have some problems moving the ball against this Chiefs defense. Joe Mixon, he's banged up last time I checked. I think Nico Collins can make some plays against the Kansas City secondary. We have seen them give up some big plays. But it seems like for every big play that he makes or Joe Mixon makes, the offensive line just shoots himself in the foot as well. They've had offensive line issues for more than a year now. Um, I think C.J. Stroud will be running for his life. George Karlaftis, he has 7 sacks on the season. Chris Jones, he has 5 sacks. Bolton, team leading 66 tackles. Trent McDuffie, the shutdown corner. That's just some of the guys on the defense. Not to mention Reed back there at the safety position. I think even with the bum ankle of Mahomes, they're talking about how is it his ability be? Will he be 100%? It doesn't matter, because long as that arm can can make that forward motion that way or this way, he gonna get the ball to his guys. It don't matter. I always used to joke about it. Mahomes could be out there in a wheelchair and he will still make plays for real. For real. I remember he got knocked out of the game. I think it was a playoff game or a late season game a couple years ago, and I can't remember who the quarterback was, the backup. He retired since then. Came in and played, and they led them to a victory. And the following week, everybody was like, same thing going into this one. How is Mahomes' mobility going to be? Is he going to be able to make them throws, all that type of stuff? Yes, as long as the man can throw the football, they will still win. It don't matter. But yeah, I'm expecting about a 24-20 win for the home team in this one. How do you see this one panning out?
Yeah, Brandon, I agree with you. I think the Chiefs win this one. Like you said, that Texans offense, specifically the offensive line, might be a long day for CJ Stroud. If Joe Mixon can't do his thing, then it's definitely going to be a long day. And like you said, Nico Collins, it seems like it's like Nico Collins or bust, because Tank Dell has had a sophomore slump, in my opinion. Dalton Schultz, he's basically just running routes and blocking. He rarely gets the ball as a tight end out there. So I just don't see a good outcome for this offense. But I will say, I think that defense of the Texans can cause some trouble for Mahomes. They're second in sacks, and that Chiefs offensive line, one of their tackles has been out. So I think Will Anderson and crew can definitely get some noise started in the backfield. Aziz Al-Shari should be back and definitely interrupt some things. So I will give the Texans a chance. I think their defense is make it a close game, but like you said, Mahomes, steady pro. I think what is going to happen, honestly, is they're just going to run the clock out. It's going to come down to one of those single possession type games, and they're going to have the ability to run the clock out or just have little time left for the Texans to do anything. Because the Chiefs are second in possession or time of possession per game, 32 minutes. So I think what's going to happen, they're going to be steady with everything on the offense, run the ball some, throw the ball some. Kelsey make a play here and there, and they'll win the game. Maybe if I like CJ Stroud, so I want to see him win. So I'm
Okay.
hoping this is what will happen. It'll come down to like a late game field goal, which the Chiefs is going to piss everybody off, unfortunately. But the Chiefs are going to get the ball back. They're going to drive down the field, kick a field goal, and score, and give like the Texans like a second left or no time left. I think it's going to be one of those type of games. So I think that Texans defense, I can see some turnovers happening. Fumble maybe, maybe Mahomes gets hit before he throws the ball all the way, leads to a bad throw, and they pick it off. Stingly. We saw what he did against Miami. Definitely see him have some confidence going against the Chiefs, looking to pick off Mahomes there. But in the end, is this destined for the Chiefs? Unfortunately, I don't know. A lot of people don't like to hear that, but I think the Chiefs will win this one. But I think it'll be a close game. What is I think the Chiefs are favored by 3.5. I think it'll
3,
be,
yeah.
like you said, 24-21, something like that. So, yeah, give me the Chiefs in this one, too. I'll take the Chiefs in this one. Now, let's get into a matchup I want to hear your opinion about. Steelers at the Ravens. I think this game will be a little different than the last game, mostly because George Pickens will be out. I think that passing attack without him is drastically different. George Pickens is a true number one for the Steelers. Without him, I think the Steelers are going to have to rely a lot more on the running game, a lot more on the tight end fire move. We won't hear that
Yeah.
being called in the stadium. We might hear a couple of boos if he gets a third down or something. Everybody gets pissed off at the defense or something. But I think Derrick Henry is biting at the bit to get back at the Steelers, making him fumble that first time. I think it was the first possession for the Ravens where he fumbled the ball. So I think he's going to be extra motivated to go out there and do his thing. And I think Lamar definitely wants to play better against the Steelers too. Y'all are favored by 6.5 points, so Vegas has got y'all win this game kind of handedly. Give me the Ravens in this one. I think that defense. I'm not sure Russell Wilson will be able to do a lot of magic. Y'all, that their defense is pretty good. I think y'all get a good amount of sacks too. Get after Russell Wilson early and often, rough him up, hit him. Don't let him throw those patented moon balls that he does, and just keep the receivers they do have left, Calvin Austin and those guys, keep them contained, and y'all should win this game. Now y'all got to deal with that Steelers defense, who when they play y'all, they do have a formula against Lamar Jackson. So hopefully Lamar at this point of his year has figured out what he needs to do, unlock the key. I mean, he's coming off a damn 5 touchdown performance against the Giants, so hopefully he can score at least 3 touchdowns against the Steelers and do his thing out there. Run the ball. We need to run the ball. Don't try to prove a point. Stand in the pocket. If you see a lane, take off and run and get those yards. Gash and dash on them. But yeah, give me the Ravens in this one. Brandon, how you see it going?
8 out of the last 10 times these two teams have hit the field, Pittsburgh's came out on top. I mentioned last time we went into this game, it's not much of a rivalry right now at the moment for me. Our last win against them was December 2022. Um, both of those wins, the 8 out of the last 10, the 2 times that we won were in December. So hopefully we have a little bit of magic in this one. Everybody says it's a copycat league, right? So why don't we do what the Eagles did last week? They really spread the ball out for whatever reason. It could have been the whole AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts situation of not, being friends or whatever that happened there with Brandon Graham as well. But two receivers ended up with over 100 yards receiving in that game. They played solid pass coverage without Pickens there as well, and they shut down the run. Philadelphia did. So Baltimore, I think we should try to air it out. I know Bateman is questionable heading into this one. Everything I'm hearing, he's going to play. We already know what Flowers can do. Pittsburgh has been terrible against the tight end last year and this year. That's a time to cue in Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely can line up a wide receiver. He's just that athletic. We've seen Mark Andrews do it for years when we didn't have a wide receiver. So spread it out, in my opinion. And then, like you said, when the lanes are there, just take it, Lamar. I think Pittsburgh tries to take away what you can do best. I've said that several times as well. That's why Derrick Henry only had 65 yards on the ground last time we played him. I think heading into that game, he was the leading rusher in the league at that point. You mentioned the fumble. But Pittsburgh has been historically good against him from his days back in Tennessee. I think he only averages like less than 3 yards a carry against the Steelers defense when he's played them over the years. And then also their defense, man. Peyton Wilson never even heard of the guy until we played them. And then Lamar threw it out there in the flat to, I believe it was Justice Hill. Justice had a hand on it for a second. Peyton Wilson snags it away. It's a big interception in the fourth quarter. Those type of plays, man, we can't have that. We got to be on the good end of those, in a sense. We got to have one of our no-name players, in a sense, go make a big play in this one. Malik Harrison, Trenton Simpson, The safety from last week, or Darius Washington, he had a big interception. You know, a lot of these people don't know about. A lot of people outside the Ravens don't know about these players that I just mentioned. So hopefully we can make that play in that favor. But yeah, Pittsburgh, they're number 29 in red zone offense. Last time I saw, we saw them have issues last week. We've seen them had issues all season. That's why they like their field goal kicker so much there. I think if we can complete our drives, punch the ball into the end zone, avoid those silly turnovers like that Peyton Hillis interception, um, the fumble that Derrick Henry had, he rarely fumbles, stuff like that. And for the love of God, limit these penalties, man. We lead the league in penalties. We got to not have a bunch of penalties in this game because Pittsburgh is one of those teams that can take advantage of it. Otherwise, they'll secure the AFC North crown in our house. We don't want that to happen. I don't mind if they win the AFC North, just not on our field. So yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that we got a chance in this one. I think we'll win it. I think it'll be on the leg of Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker was 5 for 5 on extra points last week. I know extra points aren't as long as most field goals are, but they're still longer than what they used to be. So I think it'll be a little bit of redemption game for him. And hopefully this will be Lamar Jackson's first win against Pittsburgh since 2020. You know, a lot of the Ravens beat reporters that I follow have been mentioned the fact of LJ hadn't played the Steelers at home in front of a home crowd ever before. Because obviously in 2020, it was later in the year. That's when COVID, you know, they weren't only allowing a certain amount of fans into the stadiums at that time. But then I was like, wait a minute, Steelers fans travel more than any team in the league. If they travel all the way to Los Angeles and Seattle, Washington, when they have to play those teams, of course they're going to travel right down the state lines from Western PA into Central Maryland, and go to this one. We've seen it year after year, so I don't think that's going to factor into it. I just think that again, limiting those silly turnovers, completing our drives, getting those touchdowns. Um, don't be on the bad side of those plays when those no-name players or those players that not a lot of people know make those big plays like Peyton Wilson made in the first time we played them, and I think we can come out on top. I won't be 100% sure. I'm sure my blood pressure will be through the roof, but we'll see. But real quick though, before we go into the other games for Week 16, my first game, my first ever Ravens game was against the Steelers. I can't remember what year it was. I want to say it was like 2018, 2019, sometime around then. Um, and it brings back memories because every time we play them at home, I think about it was we was tailgating. It was me and a couple of my coworkers, and I see Tony Saragusa, the late Tony Saragusa, um, riding around on a golf cart, him and his security team, and he's stopping and he's taking pictures with fans. And I'm like, man, I need to get a picture because it was me and actually another guy named Brandon. He was a Ravens fan, and everybody else in the group was Steelers fans. So I think I posted on Facebook too. So I yelled as loud as I could. I was like, Goose, Goose. And he came over, he took a picture of us. So that was pretty cool. So every time I think about Steelers Ravens at home in Baltimore, I think about Goose. You know, because you don't run across those opportunities but so often. You know, to meet a professional football player, number one, to see one in person, and then number three, to actually be able to take a picture with him, you know, and then tragically he lost his life a couple years ago. So again, I always think about that heading into this one. So hopefully, you know, we come out on top, defend home turf. We'll see how it goes, though. It should be a good one. These games are always good, either way.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Plenty of other matchups in Week 16 to look forward to. We got the Giants and the Falcons, Lions at the Bears, Browns at Bengals, Titans at Colts, Rams at Jets, Cardinals at Panthers. That's an early window on Sunday. The late window will feature Minnesota at Seattle, the Patriots and the Bills, Jaguars and the Raiders, 49ers at the Dolphins. Sunday night football is Bucks and Cowboys, and Monday Night Football will be at Lambeau Field when the Green Bay Packers host the New Orleans Saints. Which of these games are you most looking forward to?
The most one I'm going to be watching is definitely Minnesota and Seattle, mostly because of playoff implications. Seattle is right behind us for that last wild card spot. They're at 8-6, 9-5, so I'll be rooting for Minnesota in this one. hopefully, I've been saying I don't trust Sam Darnold. Has been proving me wrong. Prove me right, Sam Darnold, this week, please. Just don't wet the bed against the Vikings. I know you guys already clinched a playoff spot, so you probably don't even care. But please beat the Seahawks so they don't. I expect the Commanders to lose, so I don't want them to win the game. Then we'll be tied with them record wise. I don't know how that's going to work out if they leapfrog us. So that's the main game I'm looking forward to. And then Bucks at Cowboys. I hope the Bucks stump the Cowboys out. It's going to be in Dallas, the Jerry World, so hopefully they get embarrassed at home. And then when we play them again, we whoop the hell out of the Cowboys too. So Bucks, Cowboys, Minnesota, Seattle. Those are the main two games I'll be looking at. I'll be looking at the Falcons Giants game, see how Michael Penix looks out there because we play him next week. So he's got a good team to go against the Giants as far as the secondary. That he still got to worry about that defensive line.
For sure. Yep.
Yeah, so Kayvon Thibodeau and crew, those guys definitely can make some noise. So I'll see how he looks. Maybe Kyle Pitts will look like what the Falcons drafted him in the first round a couple years ago. Will look like that again too. Lions Bears divisional matchup. I'm sure the Bears at this point are just waiting for the season to be over with so they can just excel, do things there. But I want to see how the Lions offense looks without David Montgomery out there. And especially the defense. They lost some pieces on the defensive line with McLean. They're a defensive tackle. And I think somebody had like a fractured jaw. I forgot the secondary guy's name, but need to see how that Lions, this overall team looks out there against them. But those are the three most games I'm looking forward to for the games of Week 16. What about you?
49ers and Dolphins. I believe the Niners are down to their fifth running back on their roster right now. I think the guy, I don't want to say it's Garindo. I believe he's out. If I'm
Yeah,
not
he's out.
mistaken, that's the last one to start for them. And then the Dolphins, we know about their wide receivers. Um, you know, both of them may be out of this one. So which quarterback is going to be under the most pressure in this one to perform for his team? I'll be looking forward to that. Bucks and Cowboys, this easily could turn into another home embarrassing loss for the Cowboys if Mike Evans and that run game gets going as well. Look out for the Dallas Cowboys. Patriots and Bills, New England's defense, they could be in for a long Sunday afternoon there in Western New York against the Bills. We've all seen how the Bills have been flying up and down the field against opposing defenses, and now you get a New England defense which hasn't been exactly great this year, so we'll see how that one goes. Cardinals and Panthers, I got a feeling about this one. It could be, honestly, one of the better games of the week. The Panthers have been playing good since Bryce Young has been back in the lineup. Cardinals, we always know Tyler Murphy's going to put on a show, and then James Conner also is going to make some plays when they feed him. So I'll definitely be one to watch that one because the Ravens don't play on Sunday, so I'll have something to watch, some other teams to watch. And then Browns and Bengals as well. Dorian Thompson Robinson, I think this is your shot to take the starting quarterback position from Deshaun Watson. Call me crazy. We've seen the fact that it didn't work out in Atlanta for Kirk Cousins. He got paid all that guaranteed money. Guess who was the first quarterback to get all that guaranteed money lately? Deshaun Watson. So the Falcons are thinking about getting past their quarterback with all that guaranteed money. Anybody else will with all these guaranteed quarterback dollars that they've given out there. Dorian Thompson Robinson, I've always liked him a little bit more than Deshaun Watson. I think he's a talented quarterback. He could run the ball as well. So we'll see how that goes against the Bengals defense that hasn't been good either. They've given up big play after big play. And then one more nugget for y'all. Two lefty quarterbacks, Michael Penix Jr. and then Tua as well. They're the first two left-handed quarterbacks to start in the same week since Michael Vick and Tim Tebow back in 2012. Looking forward to that. As a left-handed person, always look out for my lefties.
Yeah, I'm left-handed too, so that's what's up. I forgot what I was just about to say. I forgot. Damn it, I'll remember in a second. But let's get into these guaranteed picks of the week. Brandon, who's your guaranteed pick of the week?
Okay, despite the fact what I just said about Dorian Thompson Robinson, I like the young man. I think he's going to do well in these next three games. Give me the Bengals over the Browns. The human interception machine is on the bench, at least, barring any injury. Hopefully nobody gets hurt. But this Bengals defense is like an open door. Jamar Chase, Um, he plays well against his division rivals. Joe Burrow, he's having an MVP caliber season. Chase Brown, he's coming off one of his best games of the season. He's a low key good running back. He's not as good as Joe Mixon, who they used to have for several years. But yeah, give me the Bengals over the Browns. Plus, they're at home in the jungle. It's very hard to win there as well. I like the Bengals. What do
Got you. Remember what I wanted to say now. I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns try to go after Kirk Cousins next year too, just as another team, another mistake the Falcons made. But they'll do the same thing. They probably won't make the mistake as guaranteeing a boatload of money to
Yeah.
Kirk, but I could definitely see the Browns trying to go after him as well. So see how that goes. But for my guaranteed pick of the week, I'm leaning towards the Bills over the Patriots. Um, Divisional matchups, so
Smart.
those are always tricky. But give me the Bills over the Patriots. I do like Green Bay over New Orleans as well. But give me the Bills over the Patriots. You know what? I'll throw in. Yeah, I'm gonna throw in Green Bay over New Orleans as my guaranteed pick of the week as well. Also, there is a huge boxing fight coming up later today. We got Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. They fought. This is going to be their second time they're fighting over in Saudi Arabia. The first fight was a very good fight, split decision win for Alexander Usyk. So we'll see how those two heavyweights look out there today in Saudi Arabia. I think that's going to be a good fight that I'll definitely watch in between the games that come on today for Saturday NFL. And looks like that's going to do it for another episode of the Breaking and Entering podcast. Want to thank everybody who tunes in to watch, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on, you can look for us, Breaking and Entering Podcast or B&E Podcast. Follow us on Twitter as well. And the Instagram, look for us, Podcast B&E or B&E Podcast. And y'all stay safe out there. Enjoy y'all weekend. I think the weather is a little bad out there. Is that right, Brandon? Are y'all dealing with I know it's cold, but y'all dealing with any rain or snow out there
Uh,
this weekend?
we had we had rain and snow yesterday, but it is very cold and windy. Supposed to be. So yeah, anybody traveling in for the holidays, be safe, drive safe, safe flights, all that kind of stuff. No matter where you're going, everyone.
Yeah, I wonder how the weather's gonna be in the Baltimore. That might impact some things too out there. If it's just
Yeah.
cold and windy, then that shouldn't be too much issue. But if it's rainy and snowy, then yeah, wonder how that would look out there. But yeah, like Brandon said, everybody be safe out there, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.